So,
Well, here's what I see as part of the problem. Number one, it's completely expected that students will copy all of their homework from the internet.
yeah, of course.
It's also very stupid to ask students to rewrite what is already written very well by professionals when the students are not professional. There's not much point writing something again that already exists. Yeah, well, look, uh, the problem is that you're confusing good intentions, or no, it's not. You're not confusing anything actually. It's good intentions are coming into conflict with practicality because if if one town is here and one town is here and there's a big river in the middle and the bridge is over here and you say to people get from there to there as quickly as possible, they'll still go another way because it's easier for them, right? So the when given a choice between what is easy and what is difficult, school specifically trains students to do what is easy, not what is difficult. Okay, and here's the classic example. Whichever subjects you get good grades at, you are encouraged to study more. But that's the subject that's easiest for you. So school trains students to pick whatever is easiest and follow that route. So when you give students homework and you want them to put in extra effort to make it good, well, that goes against the whole principle of why they're at school from their perspective. I understand your perspective. Your perspective is, I want the students to be more intelligent, and it's very good practice to do this. Yeah, but give students a choice between a bottle of water and a bottle of Coca-Cola on a hot day, they'll drink the bottle of Coca-Cola because they're not ready for that intellectual challenge yet. I mean, what you're asking them to do is beyond their abilities. It's not completely possible, but within the construct of the situation that they're within is beyond their abilities. I know it's a good idea. You know it's a good idea, but they don't have our perspective on life. They've got their perspective on life. Um, Look, why do we make the mistakes that we make in life? We make the mistakes that we make in life because we choose the easy path instead of the difficult path. And what are the students doing? They're doing the same thing that any of us or most of us would do in that kind of situation. It's not unnatural what the students do. It's not impractical. It's perfectly logical. Um, if there's two apples in the room and one is next to you and one is far away from you, and I say, "Can you hand me an apple?" You will give me the apple that is next to you. Well, the only way to know if the students have done anything of cognitive value is to ask them verbally. The aim of the writing is the aim of the homework is to transfer information into the mind of the student. That's the aim of the homework. Obviously, obviously nobody expects the ability to assess 27 students, and obviously some of them won't do it, and obviously that's okay because obviously it's impossible to check. Like every student is thinking about themselves, but every teacher is thinking about the class because it's too much to think about every student.
yeah.
And this is the sort of the complex dichotomy that exists, which is that the student is thinking about themselves, but the teacher is thinking about the class. Because the teacher has to manage the class, but the student just has to manage themselves. And the student forgets that the teacher has to manage the whole class, and the teacher forgets that it's not a class from the student's perspective, it's just an individual student. And so herein lies the impossible conflict. which is how do you work as a group but keep the individuals happy? It's almost an impossible task. But and that's why people have been working at it for 150 years and there's not much progress. I I think it might be a false debate because it's not about the fact that it's not much. It's about the fact that the teacher's perception of what they need to get done and the student's perception of what they need to get done are completely different.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why I would take the time to listen to the students and empathize with them and explain to them that there are things beyond our ability to control.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, I remember going to school. I remember not liking tests very much. I remember feeling some stress and pressure. I remember sometimes doing well, sometimes doing not so well. I remember some of it being relevant, some of it being completely pointless. But we're all here now, which is kind of like being in a boat together. And so we have to work together. And we have to all kind of paddle or row in the same direction. Because if we don't, we're not going to get anywhere. And so it's necessary that we work together and we communicate with each other, and that me as the teacher, I've been given the responsibility of leading this team, this crew, this ship. And you can be really difficult sometimes. But that's okay, because I remember being a student and I remember being difficult as well. But there's a job that we have to do and we need to get it done, and it's not going to get done by itself, and we can all help each other while we're here, or we can all hinder and get in each other's way. It's probably not very good if we get in each other's way. So so when people say, is this, if people say something's too much, it's tell me why. I would say, okay, I'm prepared to listen, but I can't change it. I can empathize with you. I can agree and disagree, and it's okay for you to have an opinion. Thank you very much for sharing with me the fact you think it's too much. Not going to change anything, because it's not an argument. It's just an opinion. And by argument, I mean you have to have an intelligent reason for things. And if you've got intelligent reasons for things, that's cool. We'll talk about it. If someone's got a better way, I know what would be a better way. Like, you don't do any work at all, and I just give you a 1 at the end of the year with that. And then the students laugh because they realize how stupid that is. Yeah. Because it's like, and then next year you go to the next class and the teacher's like, oh my God, these students don't know anything. Arg. The problem continues. Consequences. They're trying to survive every day. They're not aware of the domino effect of consequences. There's a curriculum. We have to get from here to here. To get from here to here, we've got to do a little bit every day. If we don't, it's a problem. And we're all different as people. So because we're all different as people, some of you are going to act like it's a sprint because you like sprints. Some of you are going to act like it's a marathon because you like marathons. And some of you are not going to do any exercise at all because you don't like doing any exercise at all. And that's the way it is. We get through it as best as we can. There are people here who want to do sprints. There are people here who want to do marathons. There are people here who don't want to do anything at all, but we're all here. Right? We're all here. Why are we all here? I don't understand why we're all here. We're all here because your parents had sex 15 years ago. I don't know. Right? I don't know. We're all here because it's crazy and we need some kind of organization. Yeah. We're here to have an experience. We're here to learn about what life is about in some respect. Maybe pick up some skills. I don't know. Maybe school is just daycare. Right? Maybe you're just here because your parents are working and there's no one to look after you at home and everyone's too scared to leave you at home because they're worried that you'd burn the house down or something. I don't know. Right? I mean, That's the reality of it, and they know that. But most people are too frightened to talk about the fact that there are there's more to life than this subject. And I think gaining students' trust comes from the fact that of communicating to the students that that this class might not be the most important thing happening in their life.